Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Hopefully you're having a good day. I'm having a day where I want to try and fix something that I kind of messed up. I made this pot, fired it, it's good and solid, no problem with that, but as you can see, the colors are really washed out. Kind of made a bit of a rookie mistake. I should have known better. A lot of the paint that I used was clay based. It was a hot fire, and with a clay-based paint, sometimes it just doesn't hold up to the hot fire as well. In fact, you can see what happened. I fired it upside down. The colors up here aren't so bad, but the colors down here where the fire was hotter are really washed out and pale. And so it's not awful, but I don't like it. So I'm going to try and repaint this thing using basically mineral colors. So the mineral, you can tell which parts are mineral. The dark parts, like this is mostly manganese, and I've got some kind of reddish colors that are mostly mineral, but I have other colors that are red or yellow, and they're mostly clay, and they didn't hold up. So what I'm going to do is use just mineral paint. I've never painted a pot that had already been fired and then fired a second time, so I don't know if that is going to work or not. But I really don't have a whole lot to lose. So let me show you some of the paint that I have, and then I'm going to get this thing going. First of all, let me show you some of the paint that did not work. So this is a really nice red. I really like it, but it is basically clay. It's pretty much, it has iron in it, that's why it's red, but there's just not enough iron in it. It's mostly clay. That kind of paled out. And that's happened before. I should have known better. This is more of a yellow kind of paint, but it's clay. Obviously it has some mineral in it, but it's mostly clay. And that usually turns out a nice yellow if it doesn't get too hot. But it got way too hot, so that's a problem. So when I talk about mineral paints, it's basically, I'm going to take it from a rock. Here is a nice piece of hematite. It's just basically iron oxide. And it's a dark color. Most of the red iron oxide that I have, when it fires, it turns kind of brownish, and I don't like that as much. But that's what I will use. And here is some other paint that's basically made out of sandstone, red sandstone. So it will be red as well, but it's primarily mineral. So there's not, in fact, I will add a little bit of clay to it to get it to stick. I'm not too bad off with my black, but this is essentially manganese. And this comes from a stone like this. And so I will touch things up with some black, but mostly I'm going to try some of these different colors. These are all mineral rocks, and I can just grind them down on my palette, mix them with some water and some clay. Hopefully that works. What I don't know is just, will it stick to the pot or will it be fugitive? Who knows? But again, I have very little to lose. So mostly what I'm going to look for are these areas that are really pale. And I think if I just get some that are more dark, I'll get better contrast in this and see what happens. So one of the things with primitive pottery is it's pretty porous, and I think that's a good thing. You can see how this paint is soaking in real quickly. I think that's going to make it better for actually firing and not being fugitive. I'm also using a paint that is really quite thin. And I'm not sure I'm right about that, but I'm thinking that that's more likely to soak in to the pot and become part of the pot as opposed to flaking off. And another technique I'm going to use here, this is mostly water here, and I'm just going to spread it all around. What I want to do is try and get rid of some of the streakiness from the paint brush. And you see that in some prehistoric, largely Hopi pottery, that it has kind of a, what's the word I want? Mottled look. It's not solid colors. They're kind of blurred together. It's like a wash. This is an example of a mineral. And I'm pretty sure it has some iron oxide and probably some manganese in it as well. But if you could feel it, it's a very fine texture. And I think that's really important with any paint, is the finer it is, the more likely it can soak into your pot. And so all I do is grind it down. And this is smooth enough so that when you feel it, you can't feel any texture to it at all. It's real silky. And regardless of the kind of painting you're doing, I think that's really important. So in this case, I'm not even going to add any clay to it. Some people say you always need to add 25% clay or something like that, and that can help, particularly if you've got the right clay. But if you've got a really fine paint like this, mineral, just 100% minerals, I've had pretty good luck. Sometimes it's a little bit fugitive, but as porous as this pot seems to be, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I've gone through and darkened all kinds of things up with various colors of red paint. I quite frankly don't know how they're going to turn out. Some things I left, most things I darkened up. So now what I'm doing is making new lines on things to just get good separation. So I use a little human hair brush, manganese paint. You can see when I do that, it just helps everything pop out a little bit. So I will show you when it's all said and done, and then eventually we'll get this in a fire. Here is the end result. I've put on lots of red and some, this is a color I have not used in a long time. I don't even remember what that's going to be. It'll be some kind of a red or pink or something. Outlined the different shapes. So right now it looks pretty good. The question is going to be what happens once it gets fired. So my goal is the next day or two to get it outside and crank up the heat, see what happens. So the primary charcoal is going, and I have a grate down here that's raised up with some bricks so I get airflow underneath. So it's time to go get the pot and get it started. Here is the pot. I had it inside preheating, probably totally unnecessary because the pot's already been fired once. It's like being bisque fired, but I didn't see how it could hurt anything. So let's get it in the fire. I've really loaded it up this time, so it should be a hot fire, and so we will know in a few hours whether this works or not. The fire has been going for about an hour and it's doing well. It's pretty hot. It's definitely over 800 Celsius at the bottom. Pretty similar to the first fire that I had. It's been roughly 5 hours since this fire got going, but still a little bit hot, around a couple hundred degrees or so. But now is the moment of truth. Try to be a little bit careful here. Looks already like the colors are better this time. That's what this is all about. The pot fired fine, but the painting didn't work out very good. Let's see what we have. I don't know, it's interesting. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but the colors are certainly more intense. I like that little sunburst thing there. That worked out pretty good. I was looking for more saturated colors, and I think I got that. It's still kind of hot. So we'll take it inside. We'll talk about it a little bit. I would say that this experiment is a success. I had never painted a pot and fired it after it had already been fired the first time. and it turned out okay. The paint is not at all fugitive. It is just totally solid, no problems with that. I'm still not crazy about some of these colors, still looking for a way to get good red. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but the pot is solid, it's good, and so that is a success. Now, it's not my favorite pot, so if somebody is interested, let me know. Now, what I would say, a couple things. It is very porous once it's been fired, and the paint soaked right in. And so I just kind of dabbed the paint on, and so it does have this kind of mottled look, and I was kind of looking for that. The surface is more coarse, rougher than just plain clay. And so the paintbrush kind of drags across it, so it's not as easy to paint, but it soaks in, and so that's what I was after. So generally a success, and it's also a success for me that you are here, so I appreciate that. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your comments, always appreciated. Until next time, this is Wes, wishing you health, happiness, peace, and love. Take care. Bye-bye.